Good morning, friends. Welcome to my channel, SalesforceFighters. Today, start Salesforce developers Lightning Web Compounds means LWC interview questions. Very important questions and helpful the interview crack the questions. Start the video. First question: explain the concept of the wire adapters in LWC and how they are used to the page data from Salesforce backend. Wire adapter in LWC are the function provided by the Lightning platform that enables you to fetch data from Salesforce backend service such as the Apex methods, SQL query, and platform event declaratively in your the compounds. Next questions. What are the advantage of using wire the service over the imperative Apex call in the LWC? Wire service are more efficient as they automatically handle caching client-side data astronaut and errors handling. They also the promote are the reactive programming models where a change to the data are automatically reflected in UI without the manual interventions. Next questions. How do you handle errors and expectation in the Lightning Web Compounds? Next questions. How do you handle errors and expectation in the Lightning Web Compounds? Error and expectation in the LWC can be handled using the try catch block or by using the on errors event handler provided by the Lightning platform. Next questions. Can you create a reusable compounds in LWC and if yes, how? Yes, reusable compounds can be created in the LWC by encapsulating common UI element or functionality into the separate compounds and then pricing them across different parents compound or applications. Next questions. Describe the role of track decorator in LWC. The track decorator is used to mark a property as reactive, meaning change to the that is property triggers pre-render of the compounds. It ensures that change to the track properties are reflected in the UI. Next questions. What are the Lightning Web Components, LWC, and how do they differ from Aura compounds? Lightning Web Components, LWC, are new the programming models for building Lightning compounds on the Salesforce platform based on the modern web standard like ECMA script. Next questions. Explain the life cycles hook available in the Lightning Web Compounds. The LWC provides the server the lifecycle, the hook, contractor initialize the compounds connected callback, call when the compounds in insert into the DOM, render callback, call after the compounds, and element are renders disconnected the callback call the event to the compounds is removed from the DOM. Next question, what is the purpose of the API decorator in the LWC and how it is used? The API the decorator is used to the expose public properties or methods from a Lightning Web Components. It is allowed to these properties of or methods to be accessed by the parents compounds or other compounds in the Lightning app builders. Next question, how do you handle event in the Lightning Web Components? Event in the LWC can be the handle using standard DMO event handlers like the on click, on change, picked or by using custom event created using the custom event API. Next question, what is the difference between the standard and custom event in the LWC? Standard event are the native browser event like the click, change, example, Wheel custom event are the event that is you create a dispatch from the compounds using the custom event API. Next question is, how can you call Apex methods imperatively from the LWC compounds? Apex methods can be called imperative from LWC compounds using the imperative the apex via the adapter by using the importing and calling the apex methods directly in the JavaScript code. Next question is, what is the role of the Lightning Data Service LDC in LWC and how does it is differ from wire the service? Lightning Data Service LDC LDS and provide a standard way to the access and manipulate Salesforce data in Lightning compounds without the requiring custom Apex code. It differ from where the service in that is automatically handle records, catching data, astronaut, and sharing rules and enforce cement. Next questions explain the concept of the Lightning Message Service LMS and it is used in communications between the Lightning Web Compounds. Lightning Message Service LMS is a pub and subject messaging service provided by the Lightning platform that is enables communications between the Lightning Web Compounds regardless of their the hierarchical relationship. It is allow compounds to communicate with each other without needing to know about the parent shades relationship. Next questions, what is the role of CSS in Lightning Web Compounds? CSS is the Lightning Web Compounds is used to for styling the compounds and controlling the appearance. It is can be scoped to the compounds using the host class to the prevent style leakage and conflict. Next questions, how do you handle condition the rendering in the Lightning Web Compounds? Condition rendering in the LWC can be achieved using the directive directive di- mm, reactive like it's if true, if false, and template it if true, which conditionally render the element based on the JavaScript expressions. Next questions explain the difference between Lightning Web Compounds and Visualforce page. Lightning Web Compounds are the bulk but on the modern web standard and provide the better the performance of the simpler programming model and the easier easier the integration with the JavaScript framework compared to the Visualforce page, which are the but on older technology like HTML, JavaScript, and Apex. Next question, can you do using the third-party JavaScript libraries in the Lightning Web Components? If yes, how? Yes, third-party JavaScript the libraries can be the used in the Lightning Web Components by the importing them into the components JavaScript file using the import statement and using them as a needed within the components. Next questions, what is the role of the wire decorator in the LWC and how it is a use? The decorator is used to call apex methods or where the adapter imperative in Lightning Web Compounds. It is a automatically handle data retrieve, caching, and errors handlers. Adapter, the UI when the data change. Explain the concept of the slope of salt in the Lightning Web Compounds. Salt in Lightning Web Compounds are the placeholders that allow developers to pass markup or the compounds from the parents compounds to child's compound in building greater flexibility and the usabilities. Next questions, how do you implement paginations in the Lightning Web Compounds? Like paginations in Lightning Web Compounds for the fetching large data set. Pagination in LWC can be implemented by fetching a subset of the records from the server like using via the service or imperative Apex call and then displaying them into the UI and navigation control to the move between the page. Next questions. What are the different type of the directive or in the Lightning Web Components? Directive in the LWC including if true, if false, template if true, template it false for each and for it items. Next questions. Explain the concept of LDS records in Lightning Web Components. LDS records in Lightning Web Components represent Salesforce records reactive using the Lightning data service. They provide the reactive data model that automatically update in the UI when the data changes. Next question, what is the role of the API and why are the decorators in LWC? The API that decorator in the used to the expose public properties of methods from the Lightning Web Components will the why the decorator is used to the call apex or why the adapter imperative. Next question, how do you handle navigation between the Lightning Web components? Navigation between the Lightning Web components can be the handled using the Lightning Web navigations service provided by the Lightning Web platforms, which allow you to the navigation to the different page or the components with the Salesforce app. Next questions, explain the concept of the com- compositions in the Lightning Web components. Composition in the LWC refer to the ability to the combine the multiple components together to the create a more complex UI element of the functionality, enabling, enabling greater reusability and modularity. Next questions: what is the role of this template property in Lightning Web Components? This is a template properties in Lightning Web Components is provide access to the components DOM uh, presentation allowing you to the manipulate DOM and element to directly within the components in JavaScript codes. Next questions explain the difference between the imperative and the declarative programming Lightning the web components. Lightning Web Components is imperative the programming involved writing the explicit JavaScript code to the perform actions such as phasing data or the manipulating to DOM will declarative programming involved using the built-in the features like where the service and event handling to the achieve to some task with the less code. Next questions, how do you handle from submission in the Lightning Web Components? Form submission in the LWC can be handled using the standard HTML form element and event handle like the on submit or by using the submit event in the JavaScript to the enter script and a process from data before the submission. Next questions. What are the benefit of the using the Lightning Web Components over Visual Force page? Lightning Web Components offer the better performance in similar the programming models and is the integration with of the JavaScript frameworks compared to the Visual Force page. They also provide the more modern user the experience and the support for the responsive designing out of the box. Next question, explain the concept of the compounds composition in Lightning Web Components. Uh, compounds the compositions in LWC involve the coupling multiply smaller compounds together to the create more the complex you are the element of the functionalities. This is allow to for greater usability, maintainability, and modularity in your application. Next question, explain the concept of data binding the Lightning Web components. Data binding the in LWC refer to the process of the connecting data in the compounds, the script file to the compounds via the element in the compounds file. This allow change to the data automatically reflect in the UI and vice. Next question, what are the different type of the data binding the available in Lightning Web Components? Yeah, LWC, there are two the type of the data binding. The one way data binding where the changes into the JavaScript are reflect in UI and two-way data binding where change into the UI are the reflected back in the JavaScript. Next question, how do you handle errors and the expectation in the Apex? controller using by Lightning Web Components. Here an expectation in the Apex controller using the by LWC can be the handler using the try to catch block on result can be the communicate back to Lightning Web Components using the errors handling such as a custom event and returns value. Next questions, what is the role of Lightning app builders in Lightning Web Components? Lightning builders allow user to create the custom page and app using the Lightning Web Components, Aura components and standard components. It is provided by the drag and drop the interface for the assembling the components and the configurations. There are the properties. Next question, how do you ensure that is accessibility of Lightning Web Components? Accessibility in the LWC can be the ensure by the following the best practice such as using the take the HTML element, providing the alternative the text for the image, ensuring keyboards navigation and the entering to WCAG guideline. Additionally, you can use the Salesforce Lightning designing system SLDS for the assemblable component styling. Next questions. How do you handle the event between the parents and child's component in the Lightning Web Components? Event between the parents and child's component in the LWC can be handled by the dispatching and handling the custom event using the dispatch an event and the add event the listeners method. The respective and parents compounds can be also passed data in the child's compounds using the properties. Next questions, what are the different type of the navigation available in the Lightning Web Components? Navigation is a LWC can be the done using the Lightning Web navigation service which compounds various type of the navigation actions such as a standard page navigation, URL navigation and compounds navigation. Next questions, how do they implement conditional CSS styling the Lightning Web Components? Conditional CSS styling in LWC can be the implement using JavaScript expression in the template file and dynamically apply CSS classes for or Lightning style based on the compound style in user interactions. Next question, explain the concept of the event doubling and event the progression in the Lightning Web Components. Event doubling and event progressions in the LWC refer to the process and by which event are the passed up down the compounds hierarchy. Event the bundling occurs where when an event is triggers is a child's compounds and propagate propagate up the its parents compound will be when the propagation occur the when event and triggers in the parents compounds and the propagate and down it is child compound. Next questions, how do the handle user the authentications and authorizations in Lightning Web Compounds? User authentications and authorizations in the LWC can be the handle is using but in the futures like the Salesforce identifier out and the Salesforce security models. Additionally, you can implement custom additional authentications and authorizations logic the using Apex controller and custom permissions. Thank you so much, friends. Very important video. Don't miss watching the video and helpful that you are the crack the interview and Salesforce developer job profile related question and answers. And don't miss my channels. Like, share, and comment and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care, friends.